Apple is releasing new products left and right this week. They started with the iPhone 17e and iPad Air with M4 chip, then launched two new displays, including a 120Hz refresh rate, new MacBook Pros powered by the M5 Pro and M5 Max chip, and they upgraded the MacBook Air to the M5 version, gave it faster Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, more storage, but it did get more expensive. And they even leaked the cheap MacBook likely coming tomorrow called MacBook Neo, but get subscribed, I'll be covering that right here on the channel. First, Apple updated the MacBook Air, has the new M5 chip. The base model now comes with a 512 gig SSD, which is nice, but the base price has also gone up to $1099. The MacBook Air does get the new N1 chip, so it has Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 6, so faster wireless connectivity than the M4 version. Still comes in 13 and 15-inch models, same colors as last time. Sky blue is the closest you'll get to a color. This is the sky blue MacBook Air, by the way. Apple really needs to change the ink cartridge here. You can upgrade to a 10-core CPU and GPU, and while it comes with 16 gigs of unified memory standard, you can upgrade to 32 gigs, and for the first time, you can upgrade the storage to a 4TB SSD. That does make the MacBook Air $2,700. And if you're in the market for a light and thin laptop, maybe wait for the MacBook Neo, which should be coming tomorrow. By the way, pre-orders for all of the products I'm talking about is actually Wednesday, March 4th, and they all arrive March 11th. Everything else about the M5 MacBook Air is pretty much the same display, same cameras, no Face ID, nothing new there. No built-in cellular either. Was hoping for that, but we're not seeing it. Next, Apple also released new MacBook Pro models with the M5 Pro and M5 Max chip. They still come in the wild colors of space black and silver. You can get standard display or nano texture, but you'll see now you can order with the M5 Pro and M5 Max. That starts now at $2199. More expensive because the base storage is now 1TB SSD instead of 512. If you go with the more expensive M5 Max chip, you can get up to 18-core CPU, 40-core GPU, and upgrade that unified storage all the way up to 128 gigs, and internal SSD all the way up to 8 terabytes. Apple says it's using a new Fusion architecture for the M5 Pro and M5 Max chips, allowing for an 18-core CPU with 6 super cores, different than the high-efficiency cores of years past, and 12 performance cores. Apple says this is a massive leap in AI performance, 4 times faster than the previous generation. And if you want, you can check out my video on the M5 MacBook Pro, not the Pro or Max, and just the M5 chip alone is much faster at AI tasks than the M4. So these Pro and Max chips surely will be even faster. They also have faster storage, Thunderbolt 5 connectivity, and the new MacBook Pros also get that N1 wireless connectivity chip, so they have Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 6, where the prior models were still 6E and Bluetooth 5.3. But where my wallet is really going to take a hit is the Studio Display. 2 new displays came out from Apple today, the regular Studio Display and the Studio Display XDR, which is actually replacing the old Pro Display XDR. The new base model Studio Display starting at $1,599, $1,600. It has an improved 12 megapixel center stage camera, is still the same 5K 27-inch size, and comes with 2 Thunderbolt 5 ports and 2 USB-C ports, so 4 ports total, 2 Thunderbolt 5. But replacing the Pro Display XDR is the new Studio Display XDR. You get 2000 nits of peak brightness for HDR content and the 120Hz refresh rate. Yes, we finally have ProMotion on an Apple display. It is also 27-inch 5K Retina. It is not the Pro Display XDR's larger screen size. So both of the new displays are just 27 inches. But the Studio Display XDR has the mini LED backlight, over 2300 local dimming zones, and the XDR version has the 2 Thunderbolt 5 ports and the 2 USB-C ports. And what do you know, both Studio displays actually come with a stand. You don't have to purchase that separately. Now those Thunderbolt 5 ports, the regular Studio Display can charge up to 96 watts from that upstream Thunderbolt port, whereas the Studio Display XDR can charge up to 140 watts from that Thunderbolt 5 port, and both have a downstream Thunderbolt 5 port for things like daisy chaining displays. If you go with the Studio Display XDR, Nano Texture is a $300 upgrade, and you save zero money if you don't get a stand. It's $3,300 if you get the tilt and height adjustable, also $3,300 with no stand. That kind of stinks. Also, if you already have a current Studio Display, this new version has a updated camera, but I think that's about it. And I would sooner buy a used first-gen Studio Display than this one. But everyone's telling me this Studio Display XDR is a terrible deal at this price with these specs. So in the comments, if you find a 27-inch 5K HDR display with 120Hz refresh rate, mini LED, link me in the comments, because you can save me $3,000 if there's some better deal out there. Both of those Studio Display models also feature an updated 6-speaker system that Apple says delivers 30% deeper bass. I actually play most of the audio here on my desk out of my Studio Display speakers, and it sounds pretty good, but looking forward to that upgrade in audio as well. And to round out, earlier this week, Apple announced an updated iPad Air with M4 chip. Now starts at 128 gigabytes of storage, which is nice. C1X and N1 chip, so you get faster cellular if you do get a cellular version. And that N1 chip gets you Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 6 as well. And they've upgraded the unified memory to 12 gigabytes, future-proofing for things like AI, maybe more on-device stuff. And the price stays the same, $599 for 11-inch, $799 for 13-inch. No difference in color options here. I think this is the same image for the M3 iPad Air. Wish these were a little more saturated, but this is what we got. And Apple also updated the base iPhone. If you didn't know, they actually have one. 16E was last year. Now they have the 17E, starts at 256 gigabytes of storage, and has MagSafe built in. The iPhone 16e last year, you had to get a case with MagSafe if you wanted to use charging accessories. 17e now has MagSafe built in. Also upgraded with the A19 chip, C1X for cellular. It starts at $599. And Apple said you also get updated portrait imagery on the new 17e. Now we still have one more day of Apple releases, and it looks like they leaked their own MacBook. The MacBook Neo was found in a regulatory document and it appeared on Apple's website. You can see it alongside all the other MacBook models. Here we have MacBook Neo. Not sure how I feel about that name yet, but it's supposedly going to have that 12.9-inch display. But this lower cost MacBook, one, hopefully it comes in colors. This is just a render. This is probably not the colors that it's going to come with. And it's also rumored to run on an iPhone chip, either the A18 Pro or 19 Pro. Really interested in this. I would love a hyper thin and light MacBook, but get subscribed. If that comes out tomorrow, I'll be covering it right here on the channel. And as far as what I'm getting, I already have an M4 Max Mac Studio and an M4 MacBook Air. I'm not upgrading to the new MacBook Air or MacBook Pro models right now. Studio Display XDR, probably getting it. It's my 40th birthday month, and so yeah, I'm gonna go all out. Studio Display XDR is coming, and if this MacBook Neo is coming out tomorrow, pre-ordering that too. Pre-orders for everything Apple announced this week is Wednesday, March 4th, coming Wednesday, March 11th. There'll be reviews for several of those products right here on the channel, so would love to see you back. Hit that like button. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. I'll leave a couple videos up here that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy, and thank you for watching. Catch you next time.